Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. Let's learn something about Islamophobia today. Simply, Islamophobia is a fear, hatred, or prejudice against the religion of Islam or Muslims in general, especially when it is viewed as a geopolitical force or source of terrorism. The scope and precise definition of the term Islamophobia is a matter of debate. 9/11 attack became publicly attractive because of the terrorist attack and how widely it was covered in the news. From that day on, Americans changed their views and considered Muslims as their enemy number one. They linked every terrorist to a Muslim because of their beliefs are called Islamophobic. On September 11, 2001, two airplanes were flown into the World Trade Center towers in New York City. An airplane was hijacked by four terrorists who planned suicide attacks against targets in the United States. Subsequent, other two flew at the Pentagon and in Pennsylvania and caused many casualties and destruction of buildings. The USA made propaganda to defeat terrorism. Islamophobia also indicates Americans resort to religious differences in times of political crisis. It is broadcasted and propagated on a wider basis. It is installed in the minds of youth at a very tender age. It is also politically influenced. The greater impact is on the Americans and the European Muslims, who are generally known to be peaceful human beings. Following the Paris attacks, Islamophobia has increased in the count. Many young Muslims have experienced bullying and discrimination. Though there have been debates on how to end Islamophobia, truly, the real strength lies within us. We have the power to spread love and change ignorant hearts and minds. In the 21st century, social media greatly influence people's lives to change thought of hundreds of people in a few minutes. It is all about promoting them in general, that is, they can offer support and help to prove that terrorism is not an act of Islam but barbarism. Politics and Western democracy have learned that hatred towards Muslims can get them elected. We must build relationships with the local Muslim community, interrupt Islamophobia, strongly advocate against anti-Islamic and xenophobic state and federal policies. Islam, particularly on the Western lens, is often considered to be problematic and syncretism, expression of the process of hatred and its execution. It is also regarded as an infamous reputation amongst the leaders of the world for their imperialistic approach to the world issue through the heavy use of brute military power to enforce Western ideas of democracy. It is showcased where there is a report of a shooter identified as a Muslim, whereas a non-Muslim shooter would be identified as a mentally ill. A Muslim is like any other citizen, pays taxes, and works with diligence to their community's malpractices. It is identified as any other religion, bigotry, and runs in parallel with anti-Semitism in the 1930s. Islamophobia also saw as a threat to the religious practices and cultures. Skepticism of integration, threats to secularism, fears of sexual crime, and an unattractive racist current. It has gradually become an important sector in the sociological and political background of Western democracy. It has resulted in numerous attacks on mosques, killing innocent Muslims, and racial laws demeaning their fundamental rights. Islamophobia is also identified as discrimination between higher class identification and lower national identification. Anti-discrimination laws have been adopted to fully protect the minorities from hostile environment towards their religious groups.